Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, and today we have another update. It is the February public update preview. Now, I think, word on the street, I think this should have actually really been public knowledge tomorrow, but somehow a few people have managed to get all the details and stuff like that. So we're going to run through it and we're going to get an idea of what changes are going to be coming in February. This is subject to change. This is just going to give us an idea of what they're working on, and there's probably going to be a few more things happening further down the line when they finalize it and produce the February update. So without further ado, let's get through it. So we've got new features, co-op historical battles. Chinese have got 8 new cards. Now, we don't know what these cards are, of course. I don't think we do anyway. Well, I'm sure we'll find out. But just at the top there, it's saying that the Chinese are going to get 8 new cards. I really like what they're doing with these civs. They're sort of going back over them. They've done this with a few, like Aztec, for example, and also Inca, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they're doing that with a few of the civs, which is really nice, sort of freshening it up. They're doing it with the states as well. They did it with the states. So I like that. Stability and performance. Improve the time taken to load into a game when the record game option is enabled. Okay, fixed a crash that will occur when hosting or joining a multiplayer game lobby. That's good because there's always tons of crashes. Fix another crash, fix an issue where if you accept a game invite while choosing a file to host. Fixed another crash, just lots of fixes. Fixed an issue with an obscured unit alpha. Okay, I'm not going to go into this too much around the UI and stuff like that. I'm just having a look. A lot of this is all just sort of fixing stuff and tidying up game settings. It's pretty much it, really. Some mods. The Winter Wonderland mod has now been updated. Multiplayer games against people who don't have the mod enabled. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to touch upon that too much. Let's get into the juicy stuff, which is the gameplay and balance. So some gameplay, some fixes, where petards would immediately die without doing any damage to the enemy if you selected a new target to attack while in the middle of the attack animation. Okay, cool. Fixed whispers not being fully filtered for profanity. Okay. And here we go, guys, the Civ balance. Let's have a look and see how much information we have here and what's going to be going on. So general tech, the Quechuan, mountaineering, infantry movement speed reduced to plus 10% from 20%. Okay. Units and buildings, the Grenadiero, range reduced to 12, cost increased, and population increased. Note, the Grenadieros can obtain plus 2 range from the range cavalry carousel arsenal upgrade. Okay, interesting. Right. Very, very nice. It's good. I think that's the unit that throws the grenades, if I'm not mistaken. On horseback, they throw the grenades. I can't say for sure. But that looks like to be a nerf to that unit. So it's definitely going to cost more and population to create. Moving on to specifics, so we have the Chinese. So I think the big update is going to be around China, which is awesome because it's going to bring some sort of more popularity to the Civ, because I don't really see a lot of people playing China at the moment. And at some point, who knows, when this actually does come out, I might return back to China and give them a go and see what changes there are. So we see Civ starting resources now begins with 2 goats, up from 1. Okay, so that might help age up quicker. There might be a thing where you actually eat both goats before aging up, so you can get into age 2 quicker. That could be a good thing there for the starting resources. The consulate, German relations. So the German relations provides you all sorts of trickle options, and we can see here that the food trickle one has actually, the cost of it's been reduced from 250 to 200, which is really good. So it looks like maybe going the German relations first might be a better option now to get you that extra eco. It's 50 export cheaper. And we can see the coin trickle also in age 3. The increases, that is a really big increase. Wow, 1.65 from 1.25. So that is like easily nearly a 30% increase on the trickle rate for coin. So that's quite significant. Let's have a look at the consulate for the Russians. Don't normally see people going for the Russian relations. Let's have a look here. So passive bonus now improves the villager train time and cost by 10%. Normally it was just the train time. That's quite significant. A 10% reduction on villagers. I guess if you want to go for more like a boomy sort of thing, you can do that. And that is a passive bonus. So I don't think you need to actually spend any further export at all. You just use the consulate and you get that passive bonus, which is awesome. There's the blockhouse option, which you get in Age 2. It's now available in Age 1. Export cost has also been reduced and now properly trains all War Academy and Castle units. Wow, that's insane. Okay, Age 1. What would be the benefit of getting it in Age 1, I wonder? That's kind of a strange one. I'm not too sure what you would do with that. The consulate for the French relations, food crates, moved to the exploration age, now ships 300 down from 5, and the export cost is reduced to 150 from 300. So is there any chance potentially that you could go for the food crate option, get a consulate in Age 1, go for the food crate option, and go a bit greedier in Age 1 and get the food crate so you can get up quicker? I'm not too sure whether or not there's any benefit in that. The wood crate option in Age 2, there's no change. And the coin crate in Age 2, it's been moved to the fortress. However, it ships more. It ships 700 coin. Export is increased to 450 from 300. Very interesting. So they're changing a lot with the kind of the unpopular relations. I guess the most popular one out of those three is probably the German one, but I don't normally see the Russian and French that much. I don't normally go them, to be honest. I normally just go Brits. I'm going to be honest with you. That's pretty much what I always go. But I'm sure there's maybe, you can do something with those. So it'd be very interesting to see. So let's have a look. Temple of Heaven, the Age Up Wonder, the Villager Age Up reward theme has been reworked to a more general economic one. So Age 1 to 2, we get 3 vills. 2 to 3, we get 1 town centre rickshaw instead of 6 vills. And we get 3 rice paddies from 3 to 4 instead of 9 vills. And finally, at the end here, you get 1200 export instead of 11 villagers. Now, I think, as they mentioned here, I think the change was because of treaty. You could actually go well above 99 villagers because you would get 11 from this age up option alone. So that would give kind of an unfair economic advantage, long-term economic advantage. So making that change means that the limit will be stuck at 99. So that's one of the main reasons why they changed that. I don't know if it's going to have too much of a change in supremacy, to be honest, but we shall see. Moving on to tech. Oh, we do have the new cards. Lovely. Yes, we've got the new cards. Awesome. Technologies. Exalted Step Rider. Attack and hit point improvement reduced to 40% from 50. Okay. That's a little bit of a nerf there for the Step Riders. Maybe that's something more for Treaty as well, because that is age 5, and it's kind of unlikely you get to age 5 in Supremacy games. Cards. Unit card. Added cards to all Chinese unit card icons for better recognizability. Awesome. And we have a new card. Let's look at the first one. So T-Export ships 1 consulate rickshaw and 100 export to spend. Also grants a steady trickle of export permanently. Right, that's really cool. That is really cool because you could go for that. You could go for the rickshaw and you also get 100 export on top. And if we go back here, we now have the buffed food trickle for the German relations, and also on the consulate for the Russian relations, we have the blockhouse that is now available in age 1. So there's something maybe that you could do there. Instead of going for the villager spawn card, you could just simply go for the T-Export and you could go ahead and get that consulate rickshaw up as soon as possible, especially that it also grants you an extra trickle permanently of export, which is pretty crazy. We've also got 1 flying crow in age 3. That's interesting. I'm not too sure whether that's worth it or not, to be honest. Just to have 1 flying crow as an age 3 shipment. We have a Fire Dragon manual in age 4. Ships 1 flying crow and 2 honored flamethrowers. Slightly improves their rate of fire by 10%. Okay, not bad. As an age 4 card though, I don't know. I don't know whether that's worth it. I'm not too sure. Year of the Tiger. This is age 1. For each 2 disciples you have lost, a pet white tiger will be mustered to your home city spawn point up to a maximum of 12 units. Okay, I can see that might be quite good if you want to do like an age 2 rush maybe, but you are spending a card on it. So that's kind of a very situational card, I would think. Year of the Dragon in age 3, we get each town centre will muster 1 flamethrower and each village will muster 1 monitor lizard to your home city spawn point. Okay, that's kind of crazy. What a strange card. Some of these cards are quite gimmicky, and I don't think that it would be that useful in Supremacy, especially 1v1s, but I really think the T-Export is going to be a good one. Let's have a look at the last couple ones here. So we've got the Kochinga, I think. Kochinga ships 8 iron troops and significantly improves their ranged rate of fire. Wow, look at that, 33%. This one could be a contender, to use in Age 4 because 8 Iron Troops is pretty damn good. They are like a skirmisher unit, kind of similar to the Yumi archers from the Japanese, but they are heavily armored and I think they do more damage as well. They're a really cool unit. So, and the final one here is 1 flamethrower and 1 castle rickshaw in Age 2. That's actually pretty good. I would say that's not a bad card to have a castle and a flamethrower. That's not too bad. Age 3, 2 flamethrowers in Age 3 is updated to 2 flamethrowers and 1 castle rickshaw, and 4 flamethrowers in Age 4. We've now got 4 and 1 castle. So we're getting an extra castle rickshaw with these shipments. So maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth getting this card, you know? Or maybe it's worth getting this one so that we get a castle building up for free in Age 2. So I think a couple of these here might be quite good. I think maybe one of these might be quite beneficial. Definitely maybe trying out the T-Export, seeing how that might work. That might be quite good. Moving on to the next, we've got Inca. Good old Inca, we know, have been a bit of a nuisance. A lot of people have been moaning about Inca, especially with the FF strategy and how strong they are on the ladder. And they've actually been removed from tournaments as well. So we'll see. Civilization, starting resources, reduced food to 300 from 4. So that's obviously going to significantly reduce their age up time to Age 2. Units and buildings, we've got the Tambo, fixed an issue preventing the Chasque from garrisoning in them. Okay. The Cancha now supports 15 population instead of 16. So slight nerf there, slight reduction. The Bolus Warriors, right, let's have a look at this. Cost is now increased from 75 to 75 food, sorry, from 65 food. So got a little bit of a nerf there, a bit more expensive for the Bolus. And also the damage against infantry is reduced to 0.5 rather than 0.67. So more of a nerf there because they are really only supposed to be really good at cavalry and they're not really meant to be used against infantry. So that slight reduction there, I think, is allowable. That's fair. The Chincha Raft build limit is now increases by +6 in the fortress and industrial ages, down from 8. And the maximum build limit on those is 20, okay? The Chasque can no longer pick up treasures by default. I didn't even know they could pick up treasures. There you go. Had no idea. Moving on to the cards. So, okay, so there's a few changes here. So we've got the Quipu, I can't even pronounce this, by the way, guys. The Quipu Kamayux now also enables Chasque to pick up treasures. Okay, so there you go. So they are sort of putting it back in with a card. Infinite 6 Heracus, the good old card that we see from the FF as a very, very well-known card, may now only be sent once. Wow. Boom. So it's no longer infinite at all now. RIP. So you can only send that once, and you can only send the Bolus Warrior card once as well. And the Renegade Spanish may now only be sent once when it was twice. And the Schooners, they no longer have access to Schooners. Wow. So Inca are really heavily nerfed on the water now. We've had the Chincha Raft change as well. We've now got these 2 cards that were used in the good old FF strategy. They're now gone. You can only use them once. And the 10 Bolus Warriors in Age 3 is now reduced to 8. Damn. So huge nerfs across the board there for Inca. I don't know. I think maybe just playing Age 2 and booming might be the better option now for Inca. I don't think getting into Age 3 quicker is worth it because they haven't actually changed the Heracus though. They haven't changed the power of the Herachas, or whatever you want to call them. They've just changed this card here for them. So it might still be possible once you get an Age 3 to still go for them because they are a very, very powerful unit. We'll see. Moving on to another civilization, the Mexicans. So civilization starting resources increased to 400 food, 200 wood and 100 coin from 300 food, 200 wood, 100 coin. So basically we're getting an extra 100 food, which is really, really nice because I think Mexico was struggling a little bit with the update. I think they over-nerfed them and wrecked them a little bit too much in the update back in December, I believe it was. So this February update coming in hopefully is going to bring them back up again and buff them a little bit so that they're in a good place. So that's a good start. That means they're going to be aging up quicker. The build limit has also increased for settlers. That might make them obviously more viable in treaty games as well. Units and buildings, the Salties that I call them, but they're the Salteadors, which are the skirmisher unit. The cost is now reduced. That's pretty significant from 70 food to 60. The Haciendas, we're getting an extra one. Nice. So the build limit is increased. However, remember, Haciendas are now actually a lot of wood to build, so I don't know whether it's worth doing an Hacienda boom with them. Probably not, but, you know, it's there. So also that's helpful for Treaty as well. Increasing that build limit is helpful for long games like Treaty games. The Bandidos Dynamite Demolition charge ability now inflicts 0.25 to artillery and 0.5 to hand cav. Handshock infantry adjusted accordingly. Okay. Technologies, the Imperial Salties, the attack and hit point has been reduced to 40%. Okay. And the second guarantee, attack and hit point improvement, is now reduced as well. And the Soldado train speed reduction decreased to 30%. Okay. So another nerf there to the technology side. Moving on to the cards. So the Observers now also improves Saltidor's movement speed by 5%. Nice. Machetes. This is a really good one. This is the upgrade to the Insurgents. It has increased. Oh my god. This is a go-to card now. Definitely. Like, I used to have this in my deck most of the time because I love using the Insurgents. Now this attack damage has actually been improved even further to 15% from 10, which is big. That's a 50% increase just from 10 to 15%. Think about it. Absolutely crazy. Dueling School no longer available to Mexicans. I didn't really use Dueling School. Liberation March train speed improvements increased to 35 from 30. Nice. Man of Destiny, age 4. The Mexican general now takes twice as long to train soldados. Okay, that's fair enough because soldados are pretty strong. Very, very powerful, heavy infantry unit. Refurbished firearms. This is one that people would love to use when going for like an FI, a fast industrial. So the grenade launcher attack used against units is now a charged action with an 18-second cooldown. Now inflicts 0.5 to artillery. Minimum range is removed. So is this actually changing to... Because I swear the refurbished arms is also in like other European civilizations. Is that applying to other European civs or just Mexico? That would be interesting. Because that grenade launcher, that's huge. That's a huge nerf there. The reservistas now also improves insurgent train speed by 20%. We're seeing buffs here for insurgents. It's absolutely crazy. 7 laws move to Commerce Age. Effect is tweaks. All 7 unique Mexican units and buildings grant 50% more XP when created, but only if you have created at least one of each of this in game. Okay, interesting. Right. The Tzotzil Uprising now ships 3 Maya Hulken Javelineers for each Hacienda, down from 4. Oh no, they've nerfed that. I mean, it's hard enough trying to build the Haciendas. This used to be quite a nice little timing attack you could do to pop some Javelineers, and it looks like that's now being reduced as well. So that's a shame. The Maya Crops now contains 300, down from, oh god, so that's also been nerfed as well. That's not as good. The Rancheros, the Quataro spawn rate increased. Okay, that's another nerf. That's another kind of build that you could go, where you build quite a few Haciendas and you get these Rancheros or Rancheros units. Sorry, the Rancheros card that gets the Quateros, and they're sort of like a 3 population sort of mercenary type heavy goon unit, I think. Native Warriors in Age 4 now available in the Fortress. Okay, so kind of crazy. I think, you know, there was 2 buffs in there definitely for the Insurgents. I think still playing the Insurgents is great, and having machetes now is definitely a go-to. Increasing the damage by 15%, that's pretty significant, and a card that I'm definitely going to keep in my deck. Moving over to the Revolutions. Central America, revolution cost has now been reduced. Okay, so we might be able to start seeing some more revolutions if they're going to adjust this. The Baja California one is adjusted as follows. That's also been reduced to 350 rather than 400. Fixed an issue preventing huntables attracted to an Hacienda after sending the territory card from improving the production speed of units. The Yucatan return to Mexico cost is reduced as well. Okay, awesome. The Rio Grande adjusted as follows. Return to Mexico cost is also reduced. Okay, California adjusted as follows. Here we go. So the California card, Lancers, now allows Imperial Cavalry upgrades to be researched for free. Fixed an issue with the Robber Barons. Fixed a bug where California Ascendant's card did not increase the build limit. Fixed an issue preventing 600 coin card. And the Texas Navy card now properly makes Imperial naval upgrades for free. Okay. And finally, the Maya one here. The Maya Hulk and Javelineer build limit corrected to 10 from 7. And the British weapon trades there. Previously didn't, so it's going to be buffing the hit points of light cannons. And there we go, guys. A lot for Mexico there. Actually, I thought this was going to be more China and Inca, but it's also Mexico. So Mexico's kind of a weird one. I think overall it's definitely a buff, reducing the cost there of the revolutions and also buffing the insurgents. But on the other hand, making a few other changes around the haciendas and stuff like that. So interesting. United States, the cowboy. Hey, here we go. The annoying cowboys. Cost increased to 140. The bullseye chargeability range is now reduced and the cooldown increased to 40 seconds. So they're still, I still think they're viable though. You know, even though there is quite a nerf there, it's not overpowered. And yeah, I think that will hopefully deal with the issue. I think that's just the right amount, I think. Random maps. So I'm not going to actually go through all of these random maps here at all. Actually, let's have a quick look. Okay, so there's one new African map added. Okay, map set updates. Oh, this is actually quite good. So this is the standard map sets. This is when you go into a 1v1, I believe. So they're going to add Lake Victoria and they're removing a couple of these. Okay, interesting. And I think that's pretty much it. There's a few map adjustments, but I'm not going to go into that too much. I'll go into that when the full update has been released. But there you go, guys. And you can see a couple of comments already. Some people saying the China buff looks unnecessary. They were fine. The consulate rickshaw seems interesting for a TP start. Yeah, definitely. The Inca FF nerf is good. Maybe overdoing it. Mexico buff was definitely deserved. Surely faster now. I have to see how the affects the strength of the revolts. And good to see that the cowboys were nerfed. Someone saying that the China is now S tier. Buff to China. Somebody's like, what the hell, man? These China changes makes me want to play China again. Wow. There you go, guys. So a few comments. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, of course, in the comments down below. Let me know if you think they're going to change anything else. Maybe they're going to add a few more things before it's fully finalized in February. And let me know what sort of Civ you're going to be picking up in February when the update hits. So thank you very much, guys. Catch me in the next video or the next stream, and I'll see you then.